Once again, I welcome you in the another session of business studies. Today, we are going to study about the sole proprietorship. There are so many business available in the market or in the business world. We know partnership business. We heard a company also. We heard about cooperative society also. We heard multinational business, global business. So there are so many business available in the business world. So today we are going to study one of the business, that is sole proprietorship. By the name itself it is clear, sole means one person. When one person does the complete business, or when one person handles the total business, that kind of business is known as sole proprietorship business. You're getting point? The person who is willing to start a sole trade business, what he has to do, he has to invest his amount of capital first. Whatever the capital required, he has to invest capital in the business. He has to give his capital to the business. And he runs the business, he monitors the business, he controls the business according to his own will and wish. He can able to take decision by his own will and wish, because no other person involved in the business. So while taking any decision, he is not going to consult with other co-partners, because no other partners involved in the business. So that's why it is said sole. Sole means a single person. When any person contributes his capital and starts the business and handles the business according to his own will and wish, that kind of business is known as sole proprietorship business. The person who is less qualified, less talented, or even less resources, for him this business is suitable. He can go for this kind of business. You're getting the point? So this kind of business is suitable to those who has less capital and less managing power to handle the business. You're getting the point? So that is sole proprietorship business. And whatever the profit arises during the year end, if the business earns a profit or loss, he is going to share, he is going to bear all the losses. Similarly, he is going to enjoy the total profit. So that kind of business is known as sole proprietorship business. So today we are going to study the features of sole proprietorship business. The features of sole proprietorship business. Okay? First feature says that formation and closure. Formation and closure. You're getting point? It is very easy to start sole proprietorship business because we have to fulfill few formalities with the local self-government. Local self-government means municipal corporation. After fulfilling a few legal formalities with the local self-government, with the municipal corporation, and after obtaining permission, we can directly start our business. So it is very easy to start a sole kind of business, sole trade business. But when we compare this business with other kind of business, take it up partnership or company, they requires lot of legal formalities. Okay, it cannot be started easily. Here in sole trade business, it is very easy to start a sole trade business. The only thing is that we have to get permission from the local self-government, that is municipal corporation. Okay, similarly, it can be closed at any time, okay, very easily. Hard and tough legal formalities are not followed in order to close the business. Whereas big business, other kind of business, they require lot of legal formalities while closing the business. Here, as such, legal formalities are not followed. Just we have to intimate the local self-government, that is the municipal corporation, that we are going to close the business. I'm going to close the business. Okay, so after intimating, we can close the business. You're getting point? So that's why they say this were the first characteristics of sole proprietorship business. Okay, the formation and closing is very easy. The formation and closing is very easy. The second is liability. Liability of sole proprietorship business. Liability of sole proprietorship business is always unlimited. Why it is unlimited? Because he has to bear the risk beyond his initial investment. Whatever the investment he made in the business, sometimes he has to bear risk beyond his initial investment. For example, his capital contribution is 2 lakhs. Okay, he gave capital 2 lakhs. Suppose if loss arises of 3 lakhs, he can't deny. He has to bear that loss, either by selling out his personal assets. Okay, anyhow he has to fulfill the loss. Okay, he has to bear the loss. He can't deny because no other person involved in the business. So that's why it is said his liability is always unlimited. Okay, he has to bear the risk beyond his initial investment. Next is sole risk bearer and profit recipient. Sole risk bearer and profit recipient. Just now I explained, whatever the profit comes at the year end, he is going to enjoy the total profit. He is the sole bearer of profit. He has to enjoy the complete profit. Similarly, he has to bear the risk also. He has to bear the risk also. Whatever the loss arises, he has to bear the total loss. He can't deny. He can't deny. Whatever the loss, he has to bear it. You're getting point? So that's why they say sole risk bearer and profit recipient. Whatever the profit comes, he enjoys the 100% profit. Whatever the loss comes, he has to bear it. Okay? Next is control. The total controlling is done by the same person, the sole proprietor. You're getting point? So it is very easy to control the business because only one person involved in the business and he can control his business according to his own will and wish. He can take decision according to his own will and wish. He is not going to consult with other person because no other person involved in the business. You're getting point? So that's why they said it is very easy to control sole proprietorship business. Okay? That's why they said one-man show. As one-man show is there, so it is very easy to control the business. Whatever the trader thinks, according to that, he takes the action and he implements the action. Okay? In this way, he can control the total business according to his own will and wish. And the next one is no separate entity. No separate entity means in the sight of law, we have to treat company and we have to treat the business and the owner as the same. There is no separate entity. There is no separate identity. When we compare it with company, we have to treat the company and the owner as a separate. Here, as such thing is not there. We have to treat both as the same. The business and the owner as the same. Okay, same entity is given, okay, to both. We have to treat owner and business as the same. Okay, we are not going to treat them separately. That is why I say no separate entity. Lack of business continuity. Sometimes it is very difficult to continue the sole trade business in future. Because what happens, no other person involved in the business, if the trader dies, what happens? No other member is there in his family to look after the business or to carry the business. So simply what we have to do? We have to shut down the business. Okay, the business comes to an end because no other person involved in the business. Similarly, if the sole trader became insane or not capable to handle the business, then also the business comes to an end because no other person involved in the business to handle the business. You getting the point? So sometimes it is very difficult to carry business in future if this untoward situation arises. Okay, so that's why we can say that, okay, its life is limited. Its life is limited. Sometimes when other members are not there, it is very difficult for us to carry business ahead. So these are the various characteristics of a business. Okay, do subscribe and press bell icon. See you in next session.